Okay, looks like we're live. Let's go ahead and get this link out to everybody else, just in case we have some people that might be interested in checking out what's happening. I'm gonna try the YouTube link this time. Oh man, I should copy these things down somewhere else so I can. Oh, there we go. Just show me the share option, please. All right, let's go in here. Oh, nice, buddy. Okay, copy that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go to throw this into Discord. Okay. Just bear with me as I throw this link into various places. Okay, I think we're about done with that. Oh, wait, I got Twitter. Yield Twitter. Let's not forget that. Okay, I believe that's it for me as far as sharing this around. Now we can go ahead and get started. Um, oh, hey, Eric, just saw your comment. Eric says, I'm coming out. Actually, you know what? I forgot. I had this thing where I can just show your comment. All right, cool. Labor Day weekend to check out the Charles Schultz exhibit. Drop in or something. Yeah. Let's hook up on Labor Day weekend. What is that? Is that a September thing? So, um, for sure. Hopefully you can hear me. The mic wasn't as loud as I wanted it last time, so let's go ahead and bring that closer to me. But that would be awesome. So, yeah, we should definitely hook up and everything like that. How long are you staying for? And is it just you, or are you coming? Are you bringing a few weeks? So it's September. Okay. Are you bringing your family? Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I have a show that weekend. So if I don't have a show that weekend, then let's figure that out. Um, one of these days I'll actually write down all the bookings I have. Yeah, so that way I'm aware of what yeah, what these things like calendars are, they're called calendars, I think. I gotta learn how to use those, one of these days. So, but yeah, definitely. Let's figure that out though. That'd be awesome to see you again and everything. Um, cool. So thanks for tuning in, and for the other two people who are tuned in, so recapping this weekend. This weekend was awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I was really stressed out moving up to this prior weekend. Really stressed out, tense. I was trying to get the zine done. I got the zine done in some form with all these different drawings, inks, and all that, all these doodles and zine doodles and all that. Got it put together, compiled, got it in InDesign. I think I designed it right in InDesign, formatted it right, but then I could not get this other printer working. I could not get it printed out in time. Um, so, needless to say, I didn't have that particular zine's debut happening this weekend. But despite that, I went to the Street Cat Zine Fest in Chillicothe, Ohio, and that was friggin' awesome. I had a great time. And I've been to like mini comics and indie comic shows and alternative comics type of stuff, but where they have zines, they have mini comics, and been to Genghis Khan and everything like that. But a pure zine fest, that was really, 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 really fun. That was awesome. I feel like those are my people. I felt really at home in the zine fest, and I can't wait to do more zine fest. Looking at different types of paper craft and collages and compilations of people's thoughts, ideas, artwork, and then how they go and manipulate them and put them together in different formats was really, really, really fun to watch. And I just wanted to buy everything I saw there, but I mean, I had to, kind of hold off on that. So I always tell friends and fellow artists that it's not a matter of if I'm going to get your stuff, it's a matter of when, even if that takes several years. But, ask Brian Cadini. I think Brian can verify, you know. So, eventually I will get around to getting people stuff. I just got to make stuff happen for me to where I can have that not disposable income, because I don't feel like buying zines and buying art and buying books is disposable. I think it's important to one's, energy, emotional health, mental health, to have the arts in their life or the written word, So, but still, I got to make sure that we can eat. So, yeah. At any rate, it was great. So that was fun. Shout out to the organizers for Street Outlets. I keep saying Street Outlet because that's a different thing. Sorry. Street Cat Zine Fest. Definitely will be back if you'll have me. So, all the CX3 people. I ran the CX3 Instagram Live Instagram this past weekend. Being on the hey Jacques. Oh, Jacques. So my brother, my other brother from another mother, and Jacques has some good news as well. So um, I have to read the email still, but I know that Jacques and I and a few other friends have worked on a book, and it's about ready to see the light of day, called Cookie Stories, I believe. And I did a few stories in there, little one-pagers things. And the whole appeal to that and the fun of that, I love stories that have like an angle or a fun type of challenge or prompt or novel to it to work, because it lets me create from I just love painting myself outside the corner, out of the corner, I should say. I'm oftentimes in the corner. I've been in the corner since I was a kid. I even had my own little desk in the corner when I was in fourth grade to separate me from the rest of the class because I couldn't be quiet. So, but anyways, yeah. So I love painting myself out of a corner. So it's nice when sometimes the publishers or editors will put us the idea of this book or project will have us trying to work ourselves out from a corner with a prompt. So I believe it was like one sentence or one paragraph descriptors, and then we were as the artists and creators, we were meant to vibe off of that prompt, and that was really fun. I like stuff like that, or like C generators, going back to the 24-hour comics days. I am definitely in no way healthy to do a 24-hour comic anymore. Um, so, and the few times I've tried, I've only gotten as far as 24 pages of pencils, so yeah. Thank you, Jacques. So Jacques says, well, actually, let me just go ahead and put these little technology things. See, so yes, yep. So we have that coming out. So I guess I'll be in a new anthology soon. And then Jacques got some other books coming out. Jacques, feel free to throw your publishing link, or wherever people can find these books I'm talking about in the comment section. Eric, you too, by the way, throw your podcast. I love the fact that Eric and Eric's studio and partners have worked on this awesome like podcast, like a serial, basically, like a radio show, like and a whole narrative. And Eric is a publisher as well, and does comics. I've done some covers and pinouts for Eric as well. So I've worked with both Eric and Jacques inside the comments, and so please, gentlemen, please go ahead and throw your links in there so that way people can find your work and by proxy find some of the work I've done with you. That would be awesome. So I'm not exclusive here. I definitely like my friends to promote themselves whenever I'm on, and that's really cool to be able to show. Let's see. Thank you. So, but yeah, it was a really good weekend though, and just like working with my friends here, it's really nice to vibe with other creators and see what else people are doing at these zine shows and stuff like that. I'm getting to the point where I may not be doing as much mainstream shows anymore. Besides the fact that traveling is really messing with my health, and my health isn't where it needs to be to travel. Um, but also like my heart and what I create is mostly with the independent stuff, and it's more. I don't know if we would call it counterculture or anything like that because I'm someone that embraces culture, but I mean, it's not as much as I enjoy mainstream comics, movies, and superheroes. I enjoy them with my family, and I'm still a fan of them. You're not going to see me trying to like draw a Wolverine for a big company. Not the fact that they wouldn't have me anyways, because I draw like I don't know, I draw like a frog, you know. So it's just kind of hopping everywhere. But that's not really my passion. My passion is to tell other type of stories, explore art mediums, explore comics in general, explore the storytelling layout sequences, and just have fun with art and color and design and just printing. And there we go. Not so super publishing. So Jock's got a link in it. So if this ever goes to the audio podcast, you can find Jock's Not So Super Publishing at https what is that, a colon 2// not so super.pub. And basically you can see all kinds of anthologies that Jacques has done. So Jacques works with a lot of different people, a lot of great artists. So it's really nice to go there and pick up several books, and you're just going to find all kinds of talented people within an Eric. So that's pretty cool. Eric's got Bliss is Eric's main thing, but the podcast we were talking about is called essencehousestory.com. And then the blister book, that's what it is, at mucksprout.com. So cool. So I'm doing the back cover for Blister. I've already got it done. Nice. I like when that happens. So yeah, sweet. Okay, cool. And Essence House Story. So if you're looking for something that won't be here and then gone in 60 seconds, you should check out the podcast, because if you're traveling long distances and you need something to listen to because you're traveling to shows and things like that, you can check out the podcast that Eric has, essencehousestory.com, and listen to a whole library full of narrative and material. So and the podcast is a narrative, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a show or serial. So it's not so much as like talk about like a subject. It's actually like it's as if you're listening to an audiobook. So check it out. In fact, I kind of like the idea. And if you haven't noticed, audio serials are coming back, and people are I think people needed stuff to do. Or especially some of us artists, some of us people who deal with ADHD and have AMD type of things. Having something to listen to in the background while we're working really can help sometimes, and we can't always sit down and read a book. It feels like reading a real book, is a luxury that many of us don't have as a priority anymore because the culture has changed. The systems have turned into everything's online, but also the grind is even more tighter to the point where it's like you're not allowed to just sit back and relax, we no longer get dopamine from reading books. That's what I didn't realize that till recently, that in my youth I would burn through books nonstop. And now it's like, even though my library is huge, I don't get to burn through books as much. So sometimes throwing it on the audio, allows me to do two things at once and listen to it. Or if I'm driving and listening to the book helps me out. So yeah, there are 10 episode seasons are up right now. 10 episodes for multiple for each season is up. So that's quite the accomplishment. So congratulations to both Eric and to Jacques for getting to that point with your efforts. So being a independent creator can be an uphill battle, So I used to mistakenly call the guy Atlas who was pushing the rock, but Atlas is the guy that holds the world. It was Sisyphus is the guy that keeps putting the rock up and then it keeps falling back down. So, or once it gets it up there. So, yeah. So being an independent creator is kind of like being Sisyphus, pushing a rock, and then you hit a pebble, and then all of a sudden the boulder rolls over you and squashes you, and you get to go back down and get it and try and lift it up again. So, so that's why sometimes it's more about the journey than about the destination when it comes to creating what we create. And sometimes when I create these types of things and do the type of work that I've been doing recently, this exploration of my ADHD diagnosis, memoir, depression, and things of that nature, designing this type of work is more about the journey or about the conversation I'm having with myself or the work that I'm doing, more so than maybe like the destination of trying to finish like this magnum opus. Like I have the difficulty of anytime I come up with an idea, it like germinates 10,000 more ideas, and then I get this ambitious goal to creating this big, huge, like symphony, and then it never gets done. So this is about scaling back and working at a smaller size or at a slower pace, and just kind of like enjoying and thinking about the route, thinking about and never doing that. So today I thought we'd go back and maybe ink some of this stuff here that I have. So that's kind of what I would like to work on today. I normally shy away from inking on here because it's kind of my inking's not that best. And like my control lately has not been that great. So I usually don't try to ink on camera because it's kind of nerve-wracking. But I don't know, maybe I've got some confidence and boosted from being at the Zine Fest this weekend. And then I also had the honor and privilege of teaching a small workshop at the Billy Ireland Cartoon Museum, which was I love that museum. Like Eric, it is a place, like Eric already knows, it's a destination you got to go to check out these exhibits in the gallery. The original pages with Schultz and Todd McFarlane and a who's who of cartooning and comic artists going back to like the golden age and whatnot, in these display cases. And it's just a vast library of different bodies of work that are there. Not only is there a museum component to the Billy Ireland, there's also places where they have, bucket list. So when you guys cruise out here, man, gotta clean this house or get a bigger house. So that way you guys can actually have, stay with me and everything. So, but so I mean, like Eric's only 5 hours away, so it might be like a day or weekend trip for Eric. How long are you staying, Eric, when you do come out? He's doing for the day. And Jacques, I got to make it out your way too for Heroes Con. That is a show, even though I said I want to stay away from mainstream shows. I've heard it's an artist show, and I would love to at least step foot in it once. So, but Eric, let me know how long you're planning on being in town for that. Billy Ireland. Back to Billy Ireland. Like then they have like not only do they have a library full of books and graphic novels and comics, then they have sections where the really, really, really important, delicate stuff, they can pull out pages but they have to wear gloves and treat it with care. If you ever go and see the Watterson documentary, the Billy Ireland's featured in there. It might be on Netflix, so check that out if you want to get a glimpse of it. Anyways, I did a workshop with inspired by Still Racism in America, which is an exhibit that features a father and daughter cartooning family. Some of the first syndicated editorial cartoonists, Black editorial cartoonists. So the father is Brumsick Brandon Jr., and then the daughter is Barbara Brandon Croft. And Barbara Brandon Croft will be in town in Columbus at the CXC, convention or show coming up, Cartoon Crossroads of Columbus, here in October. So, it'll be a little nerve-wracking for me to sit there and see her in person after having just done the workshop, just because I really appreciate them so much and look up to what they've done. And I feel like they are pioneers, of having, our culture and Black people in the medium. And to think about Brumsick Jr., Brumsick Brandon Jr. creating what the editorial cartoons and the type of stories that he did back in that time in the 60s and everything like that. And if you know anything about the civil rights era, you know that it was pretty risky to sit there and stand up, for yourself and stand up for your culture and stand up for equal rights. And you would have the FBI even, on your back and everything. They chased off what's his name, Ollie Harrington to Berlin because they were hounding them. You know what they did with Martin Luther King Jr. with Malcolm X. So you can imagine the type of lens that you were put under if you were Black or brown or Asian and being outspoken and so that's why I have an affinity with all kinds of marginalized groups, and that's why I do the work that I do. That's what I'm inspired by. It's not just trying to fight back mental illness or neurodivergency, trying to understand that. It's also social justice and cultural awareness and inclusion that drives me to do the type of work I do. So that's why, as much as I enjoy Marvel, DC, and have Wolverine claws tattooed, and I was just laughing earlier because I looked at my son's school schedule and it says schedule of Logan X Hunter. And I'm like, I wonder if his teachers know that his dad's, a comic fan. So, and likes X's a lot. So, because I love designing X's and putting those into my work. So I sorry, I went on a tangent. I do that here, by the way. So I hope you like tangents because you're going to get a lot of them here. But anyways, so cultural inclusion, being at a crossroads of intersectionality is something that being multicultural, being Black, being Asian, or the Latin Asian connection, being Filipino, being indigenous, and then, having German, Hungarian, ancestry, and having ancestors that were part of the civil rights or part of abolitionism and all that, is something that I really, really like take to. And I just feel like if something's not fair, then, I'm going to have an issue with it. And so, and I have a lot of issues, if you haven't noticed that. We talk about them here. And so I create artwork based off of that type of stuff. I create memoir. I didn't want to create memoir, but, memoir found me. So now I'm finally learning to eventually embrace it. And it was difficult at first to sit there and create work with my authentic voice, with the voice that's inside. I've always said that if you read my writing, my real writing, my essays, and not my crazy rants or whatever, but my essay writing, or when I get on a real role of writing, my real voice comes out, and it's not the voice that most people, would figure or notice from social media. On social media, I'm just kind of emoting and getting rid of my garbage and junk, getting it out of my system and purging it. And so that kind of paints an unfortunate picture, which I'm aware of, which probably cost me jobs and businesses. But yeah, so I don't know. There wasn't that many handbooks. So for social media when I first started on MySpace. But yeah, so I do like parodies of superhero stuff, those too. And I also like, the authentic superhero stuff. When I think about superhero stuff, Eric, let me post that comment. That's what I'm replying to. I gotta get used to doing that. There's probably a setting I can just put where there's The reason why I don't have the setting on anything is because I've had a few spam bots come in with either like sexual stuff or straight up racism stuff, and I don't want to subject you to that on replays when it comes to this because I don't know how to video edit yet. But yeah, so when it comes to like the definition of a superhero, the way I grew up watching superhero comics and things of that nature was that you were supposed to try and be a good person and try and do good. And I feel like I don't understand. I guess I can understand it, but it baffles me still how people who read comics, superhero comics, totally miss the message. It's like, what? It's like they make like, I don't want to say Magneto because Magneto is a complex figure, but they make like I don't know, when you're vibing with the Red Skull more than you're vibing with like Captain America or Superman, then or Wonder Woman, then that should tell you something, But I guess whatever. When they say they don't want politics in their comics, well, guess what? Comics is politics. So, yeah, life is politics. Life is not something where it's like, oh, we're going to separate politics from our lives. What do you think defines your life and the life of your legacy, your family, and the life of your people that have come before you? It was politics. It was policy. It was things that were decided by a group of people that were supposed to be sworn in and voted for to represent you and the best, to make you have a better quality of life. But somehow it's twisted and backwards. And now it's like you have to be careful because there's a lot of stuff that's in power and systems in place that doesn't want quality of life for you. They want quality of their pocketbook, and that quality of that pocketbook is meant to get bigger and larger and to the point where it just balloons to like a abnormous. I just created a word, abnormous, because abnormality and enormous does not define this well, because it's just crazy how much this balloon is getting bloated, and that balloon just ends up weighing down the rest of us. So, if you don't think politics and those type of policy decisions affect you, or if you're able to have that separated and it not affect your livelihood or quality of life, then you are on some privileged train that I don't know. Maybe you got a spot on a rocket, on Elon Musk's rocket, and you're about to go colonize Mars. But the rest of us got to stay here and deal with it. So, yeah. Anyways, so comics. Comics is politics to me, and politics are comics to me. So I used to hate voting. I used to not be into it. I didn't see the point. I'm Gen X, and I was like, they don't give a crap about me, and they still may not give a crap about me. But somewhere around 2008, I saw something happen that I didn't think would ever happen in my lifetime, let alone my parents' lifetime, let alone my grandparents' lifetime. And then not to mention my kids' lifetime. That's 4 generations, right? Grandparents, parents, me, kids. Okay, I can count today. Cool. But I saw something happen in 2008, and I didn't think that ever would happen. And a black man or black person, someone of African Afro ancestry, got voted into the highest position, in the land, and that was crazy. It was mind blowing. It was so mind blowing that it caused a lot of people to get really pissed off and then decide to set the rest of us back, by decades, or just peel off a scab, and reopen the wound and pour more salt into the wound. And now we're dealing with the effects of that open wound. And it's just right now we're just doing that wound is hemorrhaging. We're trying to stop the bleeding, and I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff that's in place that doesn't want that to happen. It doesn't want any type of healing to happen. It doesn't want anyone to move forward because they're threatened that if the rest of us move forward, that they'll get left behind. And that's not what would happen. If you are for equality, if you are for quality of life, then you want everyone to have that quality of life. If you are a humanist, you want everyone to benefit from all the innovation, all the promise that society can conjure up, can make. So, it sounds like I'm on my soapbox here, but you know what? This is what I think about day and night. This is what I worry about. This is what comes out on the page and comes out on the canvas when I paint, even if it's not completely on the nose, telling you that this is a political or social justice statement, know that what went into that piece is definitely coming from that point of view, coming from the need, the want to have a better quality of life, to have a better quality of life for my family, to have a better quality of life for you on the other end of this camera, to have a better quality of life for that neighbor down the road that probably wouldn't want me and my type to have a better quality of life. So yeah, so it takes a village. Oh, I found a red vine. Check that out. Anyways, this should be called the Red Vine Diaries or Red Vine Chronicles or something. But anyways, I'm probably losing those of you just came here for art, because who came here for politics? You must not know me well. But great weekend. So Barbara Brandon Croft is still active as a cartoonist, is on Instagram. Please go check out her work. Brumsticks is in the Billy Island Cartoon Museum. The mail is on time. Wow, that's weird. On a Monday. Oh no, I'm just broadcasting live. Late. That's what's happening. Okay. Time is not a thing. But yeah, go check out the museum. This exhibit, as well as the Schultz celebrating 100 years of Charlie Brown's father. It's pretty epic. So again, thanks to the Billy Island Cartoon Museum for having me out there to work with a few students and young people and kind of crafting a response to what they saw in the exhibit. And that's kind of cool. What I love about the medium of comics is that see you later, Eric, have a good one, is being able to craft a response to the stimuli and to what's around you. You know, those of us that work in the medium of comics and zines and mini comics and art and writers, poets, all that, filmmakers, we document this type of stuff that's happening. We document what the hopes that are of things to come, as well as of things that have passed. And then artisans, people that are crafting with wood and other type of materials and objects in a more three-dimensional space, or for construction that would help build something and build a foundation to house people, to try and create something or do something with a purpose, are also, I also include within the arts as artists. So anyone with a voice or anyone that wants their voice heard has the license to create, in my opinion. I don't care if you can't draw a straight line. I can't draw a straight line. I've said that, and I will continue to say that. If you've seen me with a ruler, I still can't draw a straight line. So, but the point is that, you still can craft a response. So don't let anyone ever tell you that you can't create. So I guess I should end my sermon and get on to drawing, right? So I just feel really, really rejuvenated. This, in a way, I feel really, I feel good. I was really dreading this weekend because are you okay?
Yeah, I dropped her next on accident.
All right. Sorry. First day of school for one kid. Tomorrow's the first day of school for the other two kids, and then Wednesday's the first day that all three kids will go to school. So schedules are weird. But I was dreading the Zine Fest because I didn't have the zine ready in time. And it's been slow. It's been hard to just, get things out at a pace I'd like to. But I have to try and start listening to my body and my mind is telling me that you got to start taking better care of yourself. And because things keep popping up that are messing me up. So I need to work on that. And then I was also dreading the workshop because I was just nervous. I haven't taught in a long time. I've been in a classroom, been in a role of trying to teach or facilitate some type of lessons and stuff like that. And I would be lying if I said I didn't have imposter syndrome, especially since, trying to apply for teaching jobs and not getting them, or people not seeing value in what you're in your CV or resume and don't feel like you're the right fit for their institution is very humbling. It's really, I don't know if it's humbling as much as it's kind of demoralizing, and there's no confidence in your skill set or you being a former teacher, like and maybe it didn't go so well because of burnout or some other reasons. And so it's difficult, and it definitely invokes imposter syndrome. So then I was worried about going back to teaching in that capacity. But the workshop was really awesome. The group of people there was great. Caitlin and Billy Ireland and Anne, you know, welcoming, and so that was really, really nice, and it felt so good, so replenishing of the soul to be able to be back in an environment in that nature, not a disciplinary and authoritarian environment where I feel like I had to sit there and do classroom management or deal with behavior, because that's not what I want. That's not teaching to me. That's not what I want to do. I don't like being in that position. But sharing what little bit of knowledge I have, or being open to discoveries alongside with the students and discovering together and exploring together, that is something I can definitely vibe with. So that was really fun to be back in that environment. And I say it out loud, and I say it to myself, it's like, I can do this all day. I can do this every day. That would be fun to be able to do this every day and to show someone, or to kind of vibe with somebody as they discover, you discover, and you learn from the students, they learn from you, and you both learn together. And so that's why I love this YouTube so much. I don't do well with the tech part and all the software and apps and algorithms and all that. It makes my brain melt. But I mean, I cannot deny the fact that having the ability to be broadcasting and talking and possibly showing some stuff, or sharing knowledge, or sharing that experience with other people, and then learning from them, is really cool. And that's what I really enjoy, that the medium of YouTube and Twitch and whatnot. Once we get the technical stuff figured out eventually, and being able to make smaller digestible sizes and edit that, so that way you're really getting the most out of your time, because it is your time that we are having to value, and that'll be really cool. And I really like to see what the experience is like in that way. But until then, we're going long form, and we're just going to go do it through this live streaming plateau. I said plateau, I meant platform. Maybe plateau is what I meant, is what I was thinking inside. Maybe I've plateaued, and this is as far as we're going to go. But if that's what happens, that's what happens. Okay, so I said we're going to ink, but I also kind of want to do some more stuff here. So what if we just warm up with some pencils real quick? And let's start drawing things that begin with D on here. Okay, so if I was doing like a kind of vibe of ADHD, taking these letters and the concept, and almost treating it like an acronym, in a way, and then kind of expanding, taking the letter and expanding from that. So with the D, I kind of create. Sorry, I should not be chewing red vines on air, should I? I kind of create this this D, like a kaiju letter, and I'm gonna put distraught. So our kaiju D is going to be distraught. Trying to not make it look like a B, though, so I shouldn't draw so dark, but I hope it doesn't look like a B. Let me know if it looks like a B. So last time I broadcast, last week I think it was, I think I broadcast this. If I didn't tell you on the air, then it's probably because I forgot. I thought I did or whatever, because sometimes things happen. I think they happened and they didn't actually happen. Um, so especially when I dream conversations that didn't happen, and then people are wondering what the heck is wrong with me. But um, I came up to the point where I had 4 books, 4 zines or mini comics figured out. Like I knew I have these 4 books I can roll with. There's enough material here to compile into that, and there's 3 different variations or variants or versions of each of these books I can produce. So I think that I am good to go with this ADHD exploration of zines um, for the rest of fall. I think that these are the books that I can work on personally for my own project. And then the other things I'll be working on is the gnome stuff. I have 2 anthologies I need to finish up and some commissions, obviously. But also, I have the gnome anthology I'm working on with a group of talented people. And then I have the Burning River thing to finish up. But besides those 2 anthologies, besides my own personal work is going to be doing my own gnome zines, gnome doodles, and stuff like that. I want to start creating digital products to sell, so that way I can start kind of like earning my own income in a way, especially in these lean times in between trying to get teaching gigs and workshop stuff and all that. Um, and then I'll be working on this 4th set of ADHD books. I have enough ADHD concepts with this whole thing I'm doing to last me probably a good 2 years worth of content to work on, because I do want to make some web type of comic serials as well. But for now, 4 books for the fall quarter, and then spring another 4 books, hopefully, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that way I'm ready for maybe some of the cultural shows that are happening in March, and then maybe graphic medicine that happens in summer, and I'm not sure what other shows that would make sense for me to do. But I wonder if library or book shows are kind of books shows I should look into. So since a lot of my stuff is more art book based and just kind of out of the box of like a superhero type of thing. But feel free to weigh in. But I got a nice little pop at the Zine show. It's weird. I'm not used to people appreciating my work or liking what I do. It's very rare that I hear that, and I'm not used to. I don't know how to take it, because when you do these mainstream shows or bigger shows, you're used to kind of being left in the dust by people who do more anatomically correct and structured superhero or manga or mainstream vibes, and that tends to be where the crowd goes. Um, and that's fine, you know what I mean. But it's just weird though. Um, and being amongst so many peers and creators on social media, it's definitely easy to fall through the cracks, because there's other people who have more of a flashy work, or just better than you, um, artistically or technically. So okay, so I hope that looks like a D and not a B, but now I got to start coming up with things that begin with a D. I guess I can always Google it. I don't want to leave the chat and then I forget stuff. The people are there. Ooh, dream. Oh no, don't do that to me. Oh, it's happening. I can't help it, y'all. Okay. Things that begin with a dream. Well, you know what, things that begin with a D, and then they say dream? I can't help but to look up The Endless. They all begin with a D. I just watched that show. I'm digging that show. I finished it. So now I want to do The Endless, or my version of The Endless for now. So what do we have? Destiny, death, destruction, Desire, dream, discord. Yeah, other is okay. I'm trying to look for the a group picture of them all. So, but this picture might work. I don't know if I'll draw them as much as I might just draw things that are inspired by them. Okay, so we have a dream. Then destruction. This looks like an upside down mailbox. It's supposed to be a hammer. Got death. Let's put some daisies there. I don't know what I'm gonna put on the You know what I should do? I should switch pencils and do blue and then do the graphite on top and then do ink like I did with it over here. So that way we have a different tone. That would be cool. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna redo this, but still keep it light enough to where we can see it. So watch this trick. I learned this from drawing with waffles. Because I never understood when all the superhero artists, comic artists, were like, "Oh, then erase your pencils and then go back over it with like inks and all that." And I'm like, "Erase your pencils? What are you talking about? How the hell am I going to see what I'm doing then?" And now I understand, like, oh, this is what they mean. Just kind of lightly erase it. And you can do that with the gummy, with the kneaded eraser, and you don't have to go and do that really rough to get all. You just roll it over, and I'll pick up the graphite. And you can have a lighter line, and so that way, when you ink and when you go on to the next stage, or even if you want to darken pencil it, you have the faint trace of pencil work, unless you're me because you carve into the paper. But yeah, you're able to go ahead and just like see your lines and everything. So, and even with my penciling, because it's so heavy-handed, now I'm really erasing back, and you still can see everything. I have, look at that dream song stuck in my head now too. I've had it stuck in my head, and then I saw things that begin with D, and then Dream popped up, and I think I was listening to the Stranger Things soundtrack. So, yeah, that's where I'm at, y'all. Okay, let's go over here with this blue pencil. I love this blue pencil. In fact, I think they're pretty much no longer being made. So I have to go on Amazon and look up the number. I'm not showing you the number. You're not getting my pencils. Okay. I gotta go up and find that number and order more so I have them in stock. Oh, you can see the number, can't you? All right. I guess I'll share. But I really do like this pencil. Blue sand. This is supposed to be blue sand. But if you are sitting there and you're drawing along, cool, welcome. The monotone sounds of my voice. And if you are not and you're just hanging out, but feel free to ask questions in the comment sections. Once you get me going on a topic, I mean, I think I find I could talk about almost anything, even things I don't know about. I call that the gift and the curse. In ADHD land wise, I'm scheduled around the 20 something, 23rd or 25th, I can't remember, to finally get a meeting with a therapist. And I guess we'll find out if I want to be able to find medication that will help with my focus and stuff, or if they're just going to do more talking. In other therapy, I've got physical therapy still for my bicep tear that I have, but I have to limit the amount of time I go because it's like $25 each time you go in there, and that just adds up. And there's exercises I can do at home that I'm still like in the early stages of recovery for that. So it's like I'm not even ready to move on with the physical therapy. I'm still working on the other stuff they try to show me. I forget to do it, so it's like, or I get busy, and then I mess up my arm even more because it's just how do you not lift stuff, especially when you're doing shows and trying to get your other studio together. I'm going to be real with you. I don't know how or if meds are going to work for me. Like, I'm trying to manage my expectations. I don't want to think that, I get medication and then there's this clarity and focus and I can do things like normal people can do. And I can do a lot of things and get things done and have more time, I don't want to set myself up for that. I don't know if that's going to be a reality. What if medications make it worse? You know what I mean? So I feel like I need to be ready for that, and I don't want to like count my chickens before they're hatched. So I'm a little apprehensive about it, and this is why I also created the live stream, was so I can just try and manage what I can manage on my own and get something done a couple hours a week at least. But my wife should be almost on her way home from work. If all the kids made it onto the bus, okay. Yeah. Let's go back and check.
I know.
Hi, sweetie. I'm broadcasting right now, okay? Go wipe that chocolate off your face. What have you been eating?
Chocolate pudding.
Chocolate pudding. Oh, it looks like you've been eating chocolate pudding. So, yeah, I think we'll leave that one alone so we can have like just a straight black and white. And we'll just go with. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know what to make of the chances of getting help in that regard. And I'm on a lot of other medicines, so I'm like worried about the things interacting with one another in a negative way. But I owe it to myself and to my family to at least find out what can be done, if anything can be done about this. Okay, death. dream, destruction, desire. What would be good for desire? Well, since I'm pre-diabetic now, I have an addiction to sugar. I'd say this falls underneath desire for me. I don't really like cherries in my ice cream. I'm just doing this for some contrast and stuff. Okay. Um, Death, dream, destruction, desire. We need destiny and discord, and who else do we need from the endless? What's the one where you're we're distraught. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So there's discord, destiny. Oh, I'll figure it out. Just can't think straight. Despair, despair. Yes, this would be despair. So we actually have it already. Despair, death, dream, destruction, desire. Um, what would be discord? What does discord look like? It brings up the Discord software. Oh, that's funny. Okay, we're just gonna. You all see this? Not really, huh? So the hands are like this. So why is there stupid? Why is this there? This is more actions. I don't want more actions. I want this thing to get off of there. So like that. I'm looking in the camera. Sorry. Okay, it's the pinky. The pinky. Okay. And then the thumbs are on the outside. Okay, you can't really see. So we have despair right here and discord in one. I think. I don't know. Or you know what? Maybe spilling out coffee. Or I should just draw the Discord logo. That would probably make it easier. Little game controller here. All right, we got Discord. Okay. We have everyone now. Despair. Discord. Destruction. Dream. Death. Oh, we said this was despair. And then destiny. And desire, right? Desire. Okay. Got him. Okay, I got them all. We can move on now. Let's go ahead and look up some more stuff that begin with D. Dominoes. We got some dominoes. We got a dollar, the almighty dollar that I was complaining about earlier. A little fake money here. Donuts. Ooh, donuts. Can't forget donuts. Oh my God. What was I thinking? How could I forget donuts? All right, cracks. You're going bye-bye. We need donuts. The world needs donuts. I love donuts so much. Speaking of which, I think there's a jelly donut still around. I'm not supposed to eat it, but can't waste food. After saying desire, now I got System of Down stuck in my head. Toxicity, I think, is stuck in my head. Okay, we got donuts in there. We have dollar. I already have dessert in there. There's a dress. We can put a dress in there somewhere, I'm pretty sure. Oh, a door. Door would be cool. Oh, Doors of Perception, Aldous Huxley. Let's do a door right back here. Our Sandman. Let's have a dress. Put a dress somewhere in there. There, we got a dress in here. What else? What else? What else we got? I'm gonna fill this up. Damage. We have damage. Drum. We got room for a drum. I think we got room for a drum somewhere. And a drill. Yeah, that could be cool. Drills are fun to draw, believe it or not. Drums. Now, I know what some of you artists are probably thinking. There's no composition to this, and there isn't, because I'm just creating it as I come up with it. If I feel like it's really important later on, maybe I can redo it and then add some composition, but I kind of don't want to. I don't want to get to blow this up into something that's like, major when it's just supposed to be kind of like a stream of consciousness type of deal. So, okay, what else we got? Do I want to do a dog? I don't feel like drawing a dog. Dinosaur. I'll draw a dinosaur though. There's kind of is a dinosaur though, right? It's kind of like a kaiju, right? Or I can just go like this. There we go. We have a dinosaur right here. There we go. And overall, doodle starts with D, right? Dolphin. I don't know if I have room for a freaking dolphin. Tribe, desk, dolphin, deer, donkey. How much did I fill up? I filled this thing up though completely, didn't I? Does that sound like mail or Amazon delivering? How do I make this look like a dolphin? There we go. Does that look like a dolphin? Here's my dog. This is flat on the ground. Oh, not anymore. It's not flat. Okay, maybe one more dart. A dart would be cool. Okay, we got a dart. A duck. We need a duck. Come on, you know we need a duck. You cannot leave this without putting a duck somewhere in there. Okay, we have a duck in there. I filled that space that was bothering me. I would love to do more overlapping and all that kind of stuff like that, but donkey. Put donkey in there somewhere. There we go. We'll put him back there. Money's covering it. Drink? Do I have a drink? I have a drink right there. The coffee. Cool. There we go. So, doctor. This guy needs a doctor. This daughter. That's gonna be a daughter D. Who's a doctor? What would the doctor be? Yeah. That's supposed to be a stethoscope, but it's a really bad one. All right, well, I did what I wanted to do as far as covering this up goes. Dishes. I forgot some dishes. Oh, there's a dish right there, but let's make a plate. Okay. There, we got some dishes there too. Most of the negative space is covered up. Daisies are in there, dice are in there. Doll, I need to do a doll. I think I'm a little filled up though. There we go. There's my doll. All right. I'm a little more satisfied. I kind of want, what should I put right there though? Diamond. There we go. Tangents everywhere. Yeah, I know. Dummy, desk, dollar, dominoes, donuts, dress, dog. What else is there? Doodle. This is all doodle, anyways. Death. I got death in there. Demagogue. I don't know if demagogue is in there. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I don't want 25% off. Leave me alone. Let's keep on. Won't stop bugging me. So, all right, I think we've got enough. Now we can go in there with a nice sharper pencil and do some graphite on top of it. And then what we'll do is I need to sharpen this. Oh, oops, just lost the whole pencil. I hope Ori's okay. You all right, Ori? Oh, we're already at 1:17, an hour and 17 minutes. I might just go to the half hour and then call it. So that way, see what's happening with the family's first day and stuff like that. So, but maybe we do graphite on this next time. I don't know. So, we only got about 3 people tuning in. So, let's start right here. Okay. We have the donut hole right here. And then we have the donut. We live by a busy road, so make sure nobody's crashing again. There have been so many wrecks right here, taking out the mailboxes, flipping their cars and everything. I kid you not. So where they're gonna? If there wasn't a tree line, they ended up crashing into these apartments. So, No, normally you do the pencils and then you do the inks and you erase the pencils, but with this little exercise or doodle, we're not doing that. We're keeping all three layers intact. So it's just going to be overlap, you know. Oh, I forgot to turn my phone on again to record this video. So, oops. Guess it's just a live stream version then. That means no 4K. Sorry, everyone. Crazy trying to run like 3 cameras or 2 cameras. No, I'm trying to run 3 cameras actually. Yeah, that is true what I'm doing. And then I forget the one that I'm going to probably end up trying to edit later on. So we'll do a couple sprinkles that are dark, a couple that are not, just so we can have some variation in here with the tonality. Probably using the wrong term there, but that's okay. Okay, that's our dart. We're going to have our duck. I don't think my wife realizes I'm live streaming. But all right, let's try seeing this. Hello? Yes. Yeah. Were you okay? So right now I'm actually in the middle of a live stream. So yeah, yeah. So if you call my wife's number, the other number, then you should be able to get a hold of her. No problem. Thanks. Bye. Okay. Like, is it a bad time to talk? It's like, well, you go over all this private business on the internet. So, okay, there's our duck. It's a little more clarity, right? Get the hammer there. And now that I've gone over this with graphite, I can kind of pick and choose where my values are going to be, like the black, white, or dark white, blue. And so I can make things a little pop out a little bit and be more clear. As opposed to when it was all just blue and it was all just kind of folding into one another. So the blue will now act as a mid-tone as opposed to the darkest color on there. This, this crack is like, there we go. Now I'm going to shade this door, this window, so that way the moon pops out even more. So even though we're going to darken the moon, but that's all I'm going to shade because I want the sand to come. Wonder what it's like for you, the viewer, having to watch a left-handed artist draw. Like, does it cover up most of the page? Because you're used to seeing artwork go from left to right and more visible. It's, There's a little stethoscope. Now, can I get a little bit of shading, cross-hatching there without blending the door in too much? I don't know. Maybe that's as much as I'll do. We have our drill here. Let's just say I didn't use a reference for that. I was gonna bail, like, actually, and then get off line right here so I can get ready to kind of meet my wife coming home, just say hi and see how her day was. But now I'm all into this thing, so I'm into actually finishing at least the pencil, the graphite part. So I guess you're stuck with me for a little bit longer. I am still trying to beat the clock and try and get done before she gets home. Ideally, I would have started on. How do you do a donkey? There we go. Couldn't remember. Ideally, I would like to start earlier in the day, so that way I can have more time for the stream. But stupid alerts are coming up, but not yet. We still have to. We still have to do what we act like we don't know what we're doing here. And there's the donkey right there. Can you please take Ori out again? Okay. Thank you. Don't sass me, lady. Just do it.
Hi.
Let's get our doll in here. So I went to this restaurant and they actually have a Raggedy Ann doll. And I was like, I haven't seen those in forever since my sister had those dolls. Raggedy Ann and Andy, and we used to watch the cartoon together.
Rio's looking at you.
Yeah. Can you please take her out?
Okay.
Thank you.
Open her first.
Sweetie. Oops. Sorry. That was an accident. Got tangled in your hair.
So
Please don't ask.
okay, I'm still acting with your attention first.
Pay attention first.
Pay that-
Pay attention first. What you need to do.
We'll give it with your hugs. Okay, goodbye. Come on. Got David.
Got a little doggy there now.
David.
I'm gonna give this some dark shading. I need to pop these out. Okay. I'm probably just gonna ignore the cracks now that I think about it. Okay. We're not gonna pencil that in because we're gonna go over that with ink anyways, so I think it's visible enough. This was Destiny screaming from the endless. A little bit of a butt chin there. Yeah, how many of us run screaming from our destiny or fate? I know I am. I fear that thing so much. So much I want to do, so much I want to accomplish. And And then having this diagnosis or having ADHD and some other issues that I really didn't know about as well or wasn't up to par on it makes things so clear of as far as what I've been dealing with most of my life. It also makes me have a lot of regret and kind of upset that I didn't get it taken care of earlier because now it's just like, wow, all that wasted time. Things that I wanted to accomplish. There's so much I wanted to do, so much I want to create. I've missed out on so many different opportunities while peers and people who I started with have moved on to, pretty decent careers and stuff like that. So their younger years weren't as wasted as mine. We'll leave that blue. So yeah, I would be lying if I said I didn't have regrets. So we have this corner still to do. My hand's getting cramped. I don't have a lot of space because the mic's right here. But that's another reason why I definitely need to move this whole operation back downstairs and get that studio finished. So I can have a lot of space. And then this can just be more about an administrative area or just maybe planning and working on bullet journals or stuff like that. And then all the heavier artwork would happen downstairs. So I wanted a blue dinosaur, so me covering this with graphite and eventually ink will be fine because now I can get my blue dinosaur. We're going to be obnoxious and obvious with that little shading right there. I kind of wanted blue. There's a fly. There's been a fly following me all weekend. I wonder if it's the bourbon lotion I've been using and the bourbon deodorant. It's sweet. I'm going to move to listen to the Stranger Things soundtrack. Okay, let's get our blue dinosaur in here. Yeah. And we're not going to color in with pencil because I want him to stay blue. I feel like drawing blue dinosaurs now. Thank you. I changed the arm. We'll call this the tail. There. What was this? This was I don't know what that was. Okay. All right. Well, cool. You know what? We did it. We got all the penciling in as well as the blue penciling. So we got two tones in. The only thing I need to do is apply ink, and I'll do that later on. In here, though, was just a big tangle border around, and then inside here was just the letter. Let's go back and look at our other one. And so the other one, as you can see, has all those kinds of tangling inside. So I think next time what I'll do is tangle inside of it and leave the background alone, let it breathe, and then ink the border as well. And so that along with this will be our other spread, which differs a little bit from this spread, I know. And then we still have the H to do and then another D to do. And then I'm also thinking about including all the rest of the leftovers of the 100 days of doodles into one zine. So almost the first several pages of this, well, not this. This was the design for that Among Us Squid Game Among Us print that I have for sale. But from maybe here all the way to ADHD as being one whole zine. So that would give us 1, 2, 3, 4. Or should I do a doodle between each one? Like a big old huge drawing. So let's just say I'll do that, okay? Let's just say I'll do that. I have a big old spread. I have a letter. I'm going to have another spread right here. I have a letter spread, then another spread right here. Okay, so if we go from this point on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So, yeah, I won't do that one. So 20 pages of some doodles and zine and a zine, and then add the 4 covers, the front and back, and the interiors. That's 24. So that's a 24-page booklet, and I think I can roll with that. I think that'd be a nice little chunk of change for someone to if they pick it up, they can sit there and check it out, and if they like the raw scratchiness of the song, then they can take it. If not, they can just ignore it like everyone else does. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. So we've gotten the orange color pencil. Is this red or orange? Let's go swatch it on another page. So this is red. Okay, so we got orange, we got blue. I could stick with just orange and blue, almost kind of like a wannabe risograph, and let that be those only 2 colors within the whole thing, besides the graphite, which would be gray, and besides the ink, and then besides the white of the paper. So I think I might do that and just let the orange and blue have some fun, and with a limited palette is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. So that be. Excuse me, a little burp there. With that being said, this is I went over the hour and a half by a few minutes, but we did get something started for our Mindful Monday hour here, over an hour and a half. It says Mindful Monday hour, but if we're being real, it's usually a couple hours or a few hours. Ultimately, my goal is to get up to a point where we're streaming 3 hours a session, and so that way, we could settle in, get some warm-ups done, and then get to the main thing. Wednesday is our next session. That is the workshop Wednesdays, and the question is, what are we going to work on Wednesdays? Do I work on more of the zines? But technically, I got some anthology stuff I really need to get to. So it's kind of like a parallel race. It's like the zines need to get done for the next type of time I debut at a show, and I want to get them in print. And then also these anthologies also need to get done because I don't want to hold up anyone's project or book. So I don't know. Stay tuned, I guess. Workshop Wednesdays coming up in 2 days. So thank you so much. Thank you for those of you who hung out. I appreciate it. I know you didn't have to be here, so I definitely do appreciate it. And everyone else that came and visit but had to take off, thank you so much too. I value your time, and I hope you were at least not too bored with this. All right, take it easy.